Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's lab. This is Lab 4, where we will be discussing web components and the business case of them. I'm your host, Cruising for FinTech, or better known as David. So let's dive right in. So to start off, we'll start off with a segue from last week's, where we looked at a code pen of a magazine. This was an online magazine that allowed users to go in and click through and see the different screens, different boxes appearing, different images, and we saw the numerous lines of code that were used to create this. Um, so with web components, we are allowed to see something a little different, something that doesn't take all this line, like all these lines of code to really truly create. So we'll bring into the next stop where here's your Amazon web front, right? We have all of this at a glance, and it's kind of broken into modules without us even realizing it. But we have every little kind of bit of information that we'd like to see, or as little or as much and as little, all at a glance. So, for example, we see the deals of the day in one. We have a renewed computer idea thing. We have the customer love fashion, and it's all very easy and modular. The web components create this sort of look that allow a company to keep a consistent brand throughout. Um, Moving into this next screen, we have a web component.dev that we had gone through. This was an example that kind of shows just how few lines of code you see, but it creates these numerous different boxes with different shapes and sizes and text and everything. And it's all from this designing with web components. It allows the user to create different, basically, like classes that can kind of get all the information needed and create the little modules that we see here. So with all of this kind of like web component idea comes really great business case situations that I was able to find a link that kind of really summed up 5 really great ideas of what made this so beneficial. So to start off, the code isn't just for computers, it's for people, right? We're going to be having developers and different people coming in and looking at the code. It's not just for a computer to parse through. So having these web components broken up for the user really helps with effective planning and kind of transitioning to the next kind of uh, versions of web design. Along with that, we have the brand consistency. You know, when you look at the Amazon web front, you know what you're going to see. You know, you're going to see the Amazon logo up here. You're going to have a search bar at the top. You're going to have all of these different deals of the day and whatnot. And it's all because of this web component idea. It allows for people to really kind of make sure that they are still encapsulating everything that they are used to seeing at a glance. Um, Also, the business perspective. So this allows kind of the developers to take time in putting into new components, right? We don't have to worry about the older, like, oh, we don't have to recreate the logo every time we create a new page. We just simply take that one module and use it again. So creating these reusable components is really beneficial. The developer experience. As the codes are broken up, it's easier to share. Teams are able to effectively work on it more, and the code will be tremendously improved from time to time, moving it down the line. And then lastly, the browser standards. We see so many different browser standards that appear with this web components. So it allows the developers to write them in a more modular way again by breaking it down into smaller chunks. And this is the biggest key to the web component is it allows people to really see whatever they want to see at a glance, as we said, and allow them to work on just a little bit or just the whole thing, all from just picking out what modules they're using at that time. Um, so I hope this was a beneficial week for you. I learned a lot about web components and kind of the use cases to them, and I look forward to our next week's video. So have a good weekend, everyone.